You just don't like hard games. I'm sorry.
It's a skill issue.
It's a skill
It's a skill issue.
Honestly.
F- that guy. Oh my God. He's such a prick. You know, and here's the thing. It wouldn't be so bad if he wasn't like 18 or 19 and wasn't just a fucking like, he isn't world weary yet. He doesn't know how to talk to people. Like, I was that idiot too when I was 17. All right.
He had his entire teenage years in COVID.
Yeah.
What do you think is going to happen?
What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 101 of Press Any Key. I'm your host, Pat Apparano. You can follow us on all social media at pressantykey.tv. You can also go to our website, pressantykey.tv. I always want to follow that up with .com, but I know that's not how that works.
.tv.com.
.tv.com. With me, as always, my co-host. Give it up for Mike Burke. And on the ones and twos, Nick McFly. Everybody give it up for him. Woo! Anyway.
I'm not doing drops today.
Yeah.
we got that queued up later.
Yeah, fuck all that. We'll have better drops next week anyway, so I'm not really too worried about it.
We got better drops coming. Okay.
It sounds like such like a shitty first grader thinking, I got better drops coming next week.
My dad's house has better drops.
It's like creating a class system for drops. Kind of like AMC is creating a class system with their seats. Oh,
shots
shit.
fired.
He did it. He did it.
That's 1 for 1, baby. Let's see if we can keep going this episode.
I'm about it.
Yeah, so we'll just get right into it. Straight up. Well, AMC is trying to get people back in the movie theaters by literally the worst avenue possible. Like, absolutely terrible. So from what I can tell, it seems that AMC is going to be doing like charging per tickets for like the best seats in the house. And have you guys seen any of the diagrams of what the seats are going to be?
No, I have not.
You've seen them, right?
Yeah, you get it's an extra $1 for the good seats and then $1 off for the very front row and like one that's next to
It's
a handicap
$1
chair.
is
Yeah.
the difference. Like,
Yeah.
okay,
And people were outraged.
well, no, I thought it would end up being like, $20 for like, the prime
Right.
seat and then like, I don't know, like $15 for this. But it's like, if you're just charging $1, it's like,
just shut up. Like
it's like both like you can be outraged and then also like AMC, are you fucking kidding?
Like this is how it starts.
I know.
Yeah. And now here's my thing is that like I get like the whole idea of like, all right, it's a better view, so we want it. But ultimately, you're looking at a fucking screen. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Well, I mean, if you're in the front, it's
Yeah,
significantly shittier than
I
like
get that, but also like no, I mean, it's very few and far between. Do you see like it's like the biggest movies on opening night sell out those front seats? You know what I mean?
right.
And it's just weird to me that like they think this is the way to bring people back to the movies. You know what I mean? Like there's this whole I don't know what this narrative is about like people aren't going back to the movies, but it's like I don't think that's true because Avatar is about to become the second highest grossing movie ever.
Yeah, how many
$1
billion movies did we have last year?
Exactly. Well, I mean, not as much as usual, but
I think
yes,
this should
but
be,
You know what I'm? Yeah.
but
this
the
should
one
be a
that we
bigger
did
deal.
kind of encapsulated
all
it.
of them.
Yeah.
This would be a bigger deal if we still had the old style theaters where there was like 1,000 seats packed in, but like there's no bad seats really in the newer theaters
Yeah.
with the big comfy armchairs.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, there's not 40 times the amount of seats there are in theaters now.
Yeah, and even then, it's once again, you're still just looking at a screen. Like, it's not like you're going to see a performer who rehearsed
Right.
for months with an entire crew and you picked the best seats in the house. Like, you know what I mean?
We're going to get Ticketmaster for AMC soon.
Oh, dude, I know. And Dark Brandon's coming for them too. So yeah, anyway, the diagram seemed that it's all the middle seats pretty much, right, Nick? It's just everything in the middle where the sound engineer sits to mix the sound. And then the stuff like the 2 back rows are like the whatever price, and then everything in the front and sides.
Oh yeah, dude, I'm excited because I'm a back row kind of guy.
Oh yeah.
I saw some people were like, "This is bad for me because I'm a like an aisle guy. I like to sit on the aisle." And now people who are trying to avoid the higher prices in the middle are going to be incentivized to slide over into my
This is like
seat.
a very specific dude's
Yeah.
issue and like gripe.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
like, I had my fun for years.
If anyone would to come up to me after I've bought a ticket to a movie and was like, "Hey, you're in my seat," I'd be like, "No, I paid. No. That's just I come here. That's my. Can we?
No, I'm an
I'm
I'm an aisle guy.
No, we're
aisle
good.
guy.
Thanks.
That's
Sorry
just a
about that.
Seinfeld
It's- I
bit,
mean,
essentially.
Yeah.
But once again, like This is one of those things where I get it's just the start of something, but it's $1 difference, and the whole point is to push you towards A-list. And if you have an A-list, it
doesn't affect you.
It does not matter.
Oh, okay.
And also, yeah, like you said, it's the start.
It's the start.
It'll be $1, and then it'll be like we're doing $1.50, and then it's like $4.
It's like the fucking Parkway tolls. It's like $2.25.
First they came for the middle seats, but I'm an aisle guy, so I didn't say anything.
Fantastic.
And then they came for the aisles.
Nick's in the back. He's
And
like,
there was no
guys.
one left to help me. Yeah, I'd be in the back. I'd be fine.
He's good. Doesn't matter. Aisle.
You like
center.
the back? You like the back row?
I think I like not having anybody behind me.
Fair
I
enough.
kind of like the isolation.
Like
back
Al
there.
Capone, you know, he didn't want.
like-
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You know?
Sitting in the corner.
Yeah, he always sat with his back up against the wall, you know, because no one could come up behind him then.
But the IRS.
Yeah, I mean that's how they got him.
I know. From the back.
They're a backdoor type of company.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
Company.
I'm trying to remember what was the big deal that they were talking about? Oh, this is gonna make it more expensive for families to go to the movies. And it's like, yes, but if it's a difference of $5 to go to the movies, it's gonna make or like if you spend money on 5 movie tickets, right? And it costs
If
X
you spend
amount of dollars.
$125 on
Yeah.
5 movie tickets.
Exactly. And you have to spend an additional $5 on top of that, and that breaks the bank. You got to get your priorities
It's
straight.
about it's about the principle of it. I'm on the anti-AMC side for this. If you're gonna charge the $1, then just don't charge it all.
That's the other problem too, is that they keep talking about how they want to get people back in theaters, yet they're charging more money. And the whole thing was the reason they survived COVID was the meme stocks.
You could literally also just increase every ticket price by 25 cents or 50 cents. No one would know.
Yeah.
Don't say anything. And like, I don't know what the fucking cost a movie ticket is.
I would just obviously you get people more excited by bringing down the cost of the front row and the sides rather than raising the price, like saying, because when you go to buy it, I checked it out, and it's like +1 for premium seat.
Oh, so you're like, just give me a deal and I'll go.
If you just presented it as deals.
People love deals.
People like deals.
You got to remember, though, they have to negotiate these prices, these ticket prices, depending on the demographic, like whatever the salary range of the reason is, and with the distributors. So this plan was back and forth with the studio distributors for months. That whole $5 Ticket Tuesday shit, they fought for years for that shit. I mean, for years. And they finally got it in 2012. So this was not something they just woke up one morning and whatever that dickhead is that runs AMC. Everybody hates him.
Do you know how much a movie ticket costs? I mean, you probably do. Nick, off the top of your head, do you know what a movie ticket costs?
I honestly don't know.
Without the
just
membership, I'm
yeah.
gonna guess like $16, $17.
What are you thinking?
Depending on the format and time of day.
I'm just gonna go like a normal
anywhere in
AMC.
between.
Regular format at a prime time, like 8 p.m.
Call it on a Friday, 8
on a
p.m.
Friday, yeah.
Okay, I would say anywhere in between $13 to $16.
Sure, right? Like probably, I don't know, but like what I'm saying, I'm saying is it's just like I don't make it $16.50. Like I'm not gonna be like, the last time I came to the movies, I paid $15.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, let me go and look at my fucking ticket from 2
Mike,
months ago.
You should have a conversation with my dad because he remembers the price of everything he's ever bought and he's never stopped talking about it.
Yeah, and here's the other thing too.
Now, but he's gonna go off about this if he
Yeah.
goes to the movies, as opposed to like, I think eggs are more money now.
Them saying that they're adjusting these seat pricing by sight lines is them retroactively admitting that not all the seats are the same.
We have shit
and that they
seats.
were charging the same for shit seats as opposed to premium seats, and that was the rush to get good seats. You know what I mean?
Are there non upsell downsell seats?
I believe so. There's
You know what I mean?
The sticky ones in the back
side-
corner. Yeah.
The sides.
The pervert seats.
The pervy.
I think it's the sides and the back are regular price. The middle
Like
seats
face
are
value,
yeah,
yeah.
face value. The middle seats are the +1 premium, +$1 premium, and the front row, and then one seat next to the handicap in the second row is -$1.
Don't you still need to like go with somebody who like requires those like?
That's like, so the person accompanying the handicap spot gets that extra fee.
It's like
taken
when I
off.
went to a day to remember.
Yes,
Liz
with
got
Liz's,
and I got the seat next to her.
You would have saved a whole $1 at AMC.
I know.
See, I think the reason being, so like I said, it's the front row, the handicap, and the one next to it. I think the reason they had to do that by law. I was reading one thread saying, everything good?
Yeah, no, it's fine. I just had a little thing. I'll cut that out.
Pat's heart. So they can't offer the handicap seat for more than the lowest possible price for a seat.
Makes
so
sense.
they included one handicap seat, and then all the other ones are regular price.
It's so hard to be a good person.
It's so hard to be a good capitalist.
It's almost like there's no ethical consumption under capitalism, and that'll come up later.
And that's on God, baby girl.
To be fair, that also isn't true because my one friend was like, well, what if you just buy a potato from the potato farmer down the street? Okay, whatever.
But we can't anymore.
You can't do that anymore. You can't. They throw food away to keep the prices where they're at.
Big potatoes coming in and making me buy it from Potato Mart.
Stud fuckers.
Those dirty little potato people.
Spud fuckers.
Now we're back around.
All right. Yeah, so listen, I don't get the big deal. Like, if at this point, if you had an A-list, it doesn't matter because that's what moviegoers were getting, and like that's why they put Movie Pass out of business. The only problem that we have right now is that this is a leadership industry. So if this is successful, Regal and Cinemark will follow. And I think Cinemark and Regal are already behind, but by not offering an A-list package
Regal
themselves.
has something.
But it's not the same. It's just
No.
like you pay $8 a month and you get a discount on everything and that was the original Stubbs membership, where now the A-list is, you guys know how it is. It's just $25 a month. You see 3 movies a week,
Yeah.
and you get points and shit. That's what they need to do. Because if they introduce that system, I mean, we have a Regal and a Cinemark in town. I'd gladly pick up one of those to have an alternative because I hate the fact that AMC cut showtimes too. You ever notice how there's no more 8 o'clock showtimes?
No.
It's always fucking like
It's
3:45,
3, yeah.
5:30, 7 o'clock, 9:30,
And then 11.
Yeah. It's fucking bullshit. Where's the 8 o'clocks, the 10 o'clocks? Like,
I know.
it's how they get more people to buy.
I saw one thing. I forget who. I think it was maybe Joseph Gordon-Levitt or somebody who was saying, he was like, the movie theater was a democratizing place.
Oh, fuck.
And it's just like all those takes.
Elijah Wood.
Oh, okay, yeah, but it's
Oh,
like,
I remember
you're
this,
getting
yeah.
a little bit on a high horse about like how the theater was the bastion of democracy.
it's just like-
because what he heard this and probably didn't read anything about it and was just like, oh, I better score some points. Like, yeah.
It's like Taco Bell. Taco Bell is, I love all the tweets where it's like, it can be 2 a.m. and it's like you are in a shitty beat up Jeep and the guy behind you is in a Rolls Royce and it doesn't matter. It is the great equalizer in the drive-thru.
The fourth meal is the great
Fourth
equalizer.
meal.
So yeah, I don't get the outrage. Listen, if whatever, just buy an A-list subscription at this point. Just do it. You're going to the movies anyway. You're spending too much money as it is.
Until you forget about it, and then it goes on for months and months, and you haven't seen a movie, and you just threw away $300.
Oops. Or you move to Mexico and they don't have AMCs that you can use.
That's so great. All right. Anyway, so speaking of AMC, oh wait, that's not AMC. That's A24. Anyway,
Close.
all right. Well, I guess I'm 1 for 2 now.
Yeah.
So A24 actually announced something interesting this week. Have you guys heard of the Backrooms?
Yes.
It is this new fad called liminal horror, I guess it's called. I'll pull up the video of it.
So this came from, I'm pretty sure.
Go ahead and turn that down.
Yeah, I think the backroom shit, at least I saw it when it was starting to blow up on TikTok, was like a dude who was making a backrooms account, and it's all like weird things like this, where it's like empty office spaces or malls that have been abandoned. They're called liminal spaces. And they're just going through and doing like horror shit with this video.
Yeah, and it's supposed to be eerie and like make you uncomfortable, which I watched this whole one and I was very uncomfortable while I watched it.
Now,
it almost reminds me of Skinamarink.
I was gonna say you were talking all sorts of shit on Skinamarink.
But the thing is, like, I think there's some shit that actually happens in this as opposed to Skinamarink.
there's like weird
like look at like and the other thing is that so all of
this
this
is cool.
like
Yeah.
that right there, all of this is extremely VFX heavy, and that's the impressive part is that a lot of this is done in the software and it's making it look like it's done in camera, and that's the very impressive part, and the fact that he did it in like basically his home office.
But yeah, the whole thing with all of these is like they're weird mazes, or you have to do different things to get to different levels of the back rooms, and there's weird like cryptid, like it's all of like the Siren Head dudes and like the Slender Man type shit.
Yeah. That one looks like the fucking droid from.
It's very internet creepypasta.
Also,
horror.
watch this shit. I saw this and I couldn't tell if when they turn the light on, if you're looking up a set of stairs or down a set of stairs. So it plays with your perception of the environment, like that.
That does make it
and that's the thing. Like when was the train? And see, now it looks like you're looking upstairs. You know,
that's pretty cool.
When the lights change, like what the fuck? Like so. Also, the monster in this one looks like the fucking scout droid from
Roger.
God, what is it? Star Wars. We're in the snow.
Oh well, yeah. That's when I have the
help me. I'm on Hoth.
Help. And then
what the fuck?
It's cool, dude. Like I'm really excited for this.
And then
honestly.
I guess he gets captured, and then it drops him from the sky. Like they just put a drone up there and turned off the engines, right?
Probably.
And then do you think that's the end? But that's the last eerie shot with like all the sound effects of like the birds and shit. So anyway, the impressive part about this is that the guy who put it together is a 17-year-old.
Oh, that's this dude.
Yep.
Yeah. Makes sense. Those goddamn Gen Z in their back room.
James Wan and Michael Clear producing Wan's Atomic Monster and executive producing. They're overseeing the company going forward, and basically Roberto Patino is attached to write the screenplay and produce this. So hold on, let me just find the actual information. So where the fuck? I had this highlighted before. I'm a fucking idiot right now. Either way, though, 17-year-old YouTuber went viral on TikTok. YouTube, these videos like all together have like almost 100 million plays.
Damn.
He's made a name for himself. So they're deciding. So Kane Parsons is a 17-year-old director and VFX artist. His viral found footage YouTube series, The Backrooms, has amassed nearly 100 million views. Parsons will direct the film over his summer vacation.
Wow.
Hey, I mean, yeah, it'll be easy to...
That'd be the craziest summer of my life if I was 17. The only 17th summer of my life.
The craziest summer.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to this because once again, as you said before, Nick, we were talking about A24, I guess, a couple of weeks ago, and we said that they don't put out enough heaters to sniff their own farts like they do. However, we do appreciate the fact that they take chances on weird and wacky shit like this, you know?
And independent creators.
Exactly.
Are there any like anticipated dates and everything? I'm guessing it's probably going to come out next year or something. Or
I don't know. He's got 2 months to shoot it. So.
Well, I mean, yeah, they'll shoot it in 2 months.
We'll see. I don't think there's anything right now about a release date, but they just said that they're gonna co-finance it on this with Atomic Monster and 21 Laps Entertainment, Sharon Entertainment, and A24. So it's just based off of his YouTube channel. So we'll see.
And
I don't know.
Summer break.
Yeah.
Cool.
What's it like to be a teenager in the summer of
love?
1969. All right. Speaking of love, everybody, if you haven't seen our lights today, it's because it's Valentine's Day. Love is in the air.
Our
right?
light. Oh no, you got that one over there. This one's blue though.
Yeah, I forgot to calibrate that one.
Don't point it out. Don't point it out.
But yeah, I don't know. LifeX has these fucking presets that they send out every holiday.
LifeX is the light company?
Yeah.
It sounds like a brand of a fucking condom.
Well, it is Valentine's Day.
Yeah, that's what he's like. Oh yeah, it's like they have their Valentine's Day special. I'm like, Pat talking about his condoms?
It says LifeX. Come get your fuck on. Anyway, so speaking of getting your fuck on, it was a Nintendo Direct this week. And of course, like every Nintendo Direct, 98% of it is absolute shovelware that no one will play. Who's playing these games?
They did not get their fuck on.
They did not get their fuck on. Who is playing these games though, Mike? Who's playing the shovelware, Mike?
You think it would be me, and it's not.
It's
and
not.
That's saying something.
I know.
Big Nintendo fan, big indie fan.
So I just pulled out the 4 big releases that they dropped, or they dropped information on, rather. So the first one up is Kirby Returns to Dreamland Deluxe. I didn't even know I wanted a remake.
I didn't even know Kirby left Dreamland.
Hey, Nick.
He's going back to AA. So this comes out February 24th, exclusively on Switch, obviously. And it's the remake of the classic Wii Adventure from 2013.
I don't think I played that game.
I didn't think I played it. I don't think I had it, but I definitely played it. You know what I mean? So then, I mean, like I'm always down for Kirby games, but I haven't found that Kirby game that's like, I need like a Breath of the Wild Kirby
Apparently
game.
the last Kirby game that just came out
Was lit.
Was like real good. It got great reviews.
Liz has it. She liked it. But like I need what Breath of the Wild did to Zelda for Kirby. I need something like that is gonna sink me in for hours.
Revitalize the franchise.
Yeah,
That'd be kind of cool.
or ruin it. Apparently, according to our comments section.
Yeah. Who'd have thought? I didn't hear a single bad thing about that game when it came out, and then apparently everybody hates it.
People are just, you know.
Well, I gotta be, the one criticism I have of it is the weapon breaking, and we'll get to that
But
later.
that's more of a preference rather than like how good or bad the game is.
It has nothing to do like with the gameplay. It's just a mechanic, and if you're salty about it, you're salty
No,
about
that
it.
is, dude. It is it has 100. It's a huge aspect of the gameplay.
It's a huge aspect
It's
of the game.
a part of the combat.
It's a part of the combat, which is cool. Like if you just learn how to do it, then you're good. Because like breaking weapons on people deals extra damage. Learn what you're doing.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't like the fact that it took me 60 hours to get all the Master Sword, all the gear, and everything.
Master Sword doesn't break, my guy.
Yeah, it does. It loses charge, and then you have to fucking wait for. But the cooldown is like how many hours?
I don't remember.
Yeah, exactly. It's not easy.
I think at the end of the day, though, it's not a matter of how good or bad like that is. It's a feature of the game that you are not partial to.
But we are talking.
You just don't like hard games. I'm sorry.
It's a skill issue.
It's a skill
It's a skill issue.
Honestly.
Man, fuck that guy. Oh my god, he's such a prick. You know, and here's the thing. It wouldn't be so bad if he wasn't like 18 or 19 and wasn't just a fucking like he isn't world weary yet. He doesn't know how to talk to people. Like I was that idiot too when I was 17. All right.
He had his entire teenage years in COVID.
Yeah.
What do you think is gonna happen?
Anyway, my bad. This actually came out in 2011, so this is coming out almost 12 years after the fact. But then after that, which actually got me pretty hyped, was Pikmin 4 got announced.
They've been teasing this.
It's the long-awaited sequel from the July 2013 predecessor. Could you
Wow.
imagine 10 years. I didn't play Pikmin 3. I just watched it get played. I didn't have because it came out for Wii U.
I didn't even play Pikmin 2.
What?
I played the original one on GameCube.
Yeah, I played the original. I played the first two on GameCube. I did not play
Pikmin.
third
That's
one,
the yellow guy with like the tail.
Olamar.
And
Olimar.
He gets
He's a spaceman.
What's his,
he does lightning powers.
What's his
Are you mean Pikachu? Pokemon kind of guy.
Pikmin.
what's his
God damn it.
what's his boyfriend's name in the second one?
Oh, I didn't play the second
Ash
one.
Ketchum.
Gary.
Gary. So Olimar and Gary. But no, what I liked about the gameplay that they showed us was that you can use the dogs now. You know, the big like dogs that used to eat the pigmen. You can actually use those in combat now.
Oh, that's
You can
cool.
control them. Yeah.
Are they dogs? Is that
I think that's how
canonically or what they're? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm
but
not gonna play the video because
It took me a hot minute to
Nintendo
be like,
likes to
dogs?
strike our shit all the time. But I'll just look up an image of it.
Yeah, it's the big, like the red chompy dude.
No,
right?
no. Look at that fucking guy.
Oh no, it's a straight up.
That's a dog, bro.
do
That
not
looks like a
remember
chicken
this.
nugget.
No, my guy, that's a McNugget. I was thinking of that guy.
Yeah, that thing.
Yeah.
I can't remember what those are called, but I thought they called them dogs
They might.
too.
I have no idea.
But yeah, so there is this dog that's coming, and apparently this I think this is releasing in July, I believe. Let's check it out.
Now that guy kind of looks like Pikachu.
Honestly, Nick, that's closer. So I'll give you that.
Yeah, I guess there is July 21st, 2023. So
Okay.
yeah, so it's coming out 10 years to the week.
You know what's interesting
the
with
last
that is I
one.
wonder like how they're gonna try and get new gamers into like Pikmin with that, because like you said, it's been 10 years, so it's like people our age probably would be the the main demographic,
The
but also
cutoff of the demographic.
well, as in but also I would be like I don't necessarily really want to buy and play that.
Yeah, well, I'm of the belief that at this point in my life, there is no Nintendo game that's truly going to challenge me. You know what I mean?
fair.
It's just all my nostalgia.
Besides Breath of the Wild and their weapon system.
Oh, it's a skill issue, Mike. All right. Well, which one of these last two do you want to cover first? Would you like to cover the skill issue or something that literally they could not figure out how to make at the time? So.
Either or, baby.
Okay, all right. We'll start with Metroid Remastered. So Nintendo shadow dropped Metroid Remastered, and I thought it would like just looked okay, but then I saw a comparison, and
people are like, "Why does this look better than like most
like
normal
night and
full
day.
budget
Like look
Switch
at this
games coming out?"
Look at this. So that is.
Can you please go full screen?
That is GameCube over here.
This is my OCD.
And that is what's it called? And that's
Switch.
your Switch over here. Like
She's got a Mario pipe on her arm and a GameCube.
Oh yeah.
Look at all the pixelation and everything. So you could only get a 480 signal out of the GameCube, and this is full. I mean, the Switch only renders at 900, so I mean this is technically HD, but it's not really HD. But what I am remember how we said during the Nintendo Direct when we were watching, I was like, the thing that sucked the most about that game was that you had to aim and walk with the same fucking button.
Oh god.
Like you couldn't with the same stick. Like it was broken. Whereas now they literally pointed like a fucking diagram of the controller comes up and it says now you can use both sticks. It's like, where you been for 15 years though? We did this already.
I know.
Either way though, it's a much needed upgrade because the controls sucked. I think it was this, Luigi's Mansion, and there's something else were the first 3 GameCube games right out of the gate when they launched. So I'm very glad to see that they're paying some love to this. However, there's an
Is it Mario Sunshine?
No, Mario Sunshine came later. The problem I have though is that like I get that they're putting us out to tide us over. When is Metroid 4 coming?
I was about to say that's just what this is.
Like,
they were like,
there's been like 3 reboots of that game in development.
Yeah, they were real happy that Metroid Dread did as good as it did. And then they were like, oh, cool, let's just like remaster this. We'll give them something in the meantime. And then like we can still flounder around with 4.
Yeah, it's disappointing that 4 has taken so long to get, to even get to a release. But at this point, I'm just like, you guys should just wait until the next system.
I was going to say they're probably delaying it until whatever comes after the Switch because it's been 5, 6 years.
7. We're on year 7.
Okay, yeah.
And here's the thing. That's normally a console's life cycle is 7 years. The problem that we have now is that they have games in active development for Switch.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And I'm at the point where I don't want to buy any of these games if you're coming out with a new console. And remember the whole 4K Pro Switch thing?
Yeah.
The whole nobody had any ever, and it came out was like an OLED Switch or whatever. Like
there's everybody who would have bought that already owned a Switch at that point.
Exactly.
And I was like, I'm not buying another version of this.
Well, my whole thing was if they made better hardware, I would have bought the upgraded hardware because I want to see those games on that scale. But the problem is that they can't make games that even utilize hardware like that because the hardware is so shit. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I get the whole portable and this, but I'd rather you give me another fucking brick that I can just put on my shelf and it has the nicest fucking graphics, like the state-of-the-art shit. Like, that's what I don't want to do.
As far as portable, I don't think any of us have used the Steam Deck, but like... that seems like a promising way to go where it's like, this is a real thing. Like, it's not a chintzy little piece of crap.
Yeah.
But it does the same exact thing.
The thing about the Steam Deck, which I love, Nick, and I'm glad you brought it up, is that you can put a Switch emulator on it.
I was going to say, it's just a computer.
All of your Switch games in over 60 FPS in full HD.
Yep.
You can also put every fucking emulator possible on there and 90% of your Steam games. That is a better portable device already than what Nintendo offers. So explain to me.
Nintendo's always been weird with.
I know. It's just their whole thing is like ecosystem and everything, but like, dude, that fucking Xbox Series X. How many years I shit on Xbox? Well, that's the nicest video game console I've ever owned. It makes no noise. It runs everything at top like fucking performance and graphics. And if I buy, let's say, the Xbox One version of a game as opposed to the Xbox Series X version of a game, it immediately upgrades it to the Series X version. Like, downloads all of the biggest fucking graphics and everything, patches you right through, no problem. Not even PlayStation offers that. So that's what I'm saying is that, like, there's better options in the console market at this point. So if somebody were to ask me, should I get a Switch? I'd be like,
get a laptop.
Get a Steam Deck.
Chromebook. Like,
yeah, get a Steam Deck because you can get a Switch and way more on it. Like,
yeah. Nintendo's always been funky with their systems. Like, it's not about like power. They're never about like cranking shit. They're about like making it kind of cool and fun and funky.
It's
and,
about
like,
style.
It's about style.
we're not doing the fucking rock song.
I was
again.
about.
We're not doing the rock song again.
But yeah, I mean, like the whole thing where they want like the added functionality. Remember when Switch came out? It's like you put it down and it's like, here's half of the controller and we're gonna play Mario
Yeah.
Party. And then like Labo came out and then like all that shit, which is cool. But like,
If you're
I'm
six,
not buying that. Like,
Yeah, and then the other thing is like,
and it's expensive too. Those aren't cheap. Like those additional things. Like,
yeah, that cardboard that you punch out of. Yeah.
yeah, it was like $100 or something.
So the one thing that I did always want to try is that like, so for games like Mario Party, you can take 2 Switches and put them together, and then you have a full Mario Party board in front of you, and everybody uses a controller to play on like it's a regular like tabletop game. But once again, like the lengths you have to go to get that to work, like you have to find 2 people with 2 Switches. Then you have to find 4 people or 8 people to play, because now you have 4 controllers for everybody. You know what I mean? And then it's like you have to have the same versions, you have to have the same map packs. It's just a lot of fucking hoops to jump through to get that functionality, but they put that right out in front of your face. You know, like, look how cool this is.
I know.
You know? So I just hope that Nintendo like just listen. I don't think they're a bad company. I appreciate the fact that when they hit hard times and they fucked up with the Wii U, they said that they fucked up. They cut CEO salaries. They
do it right.
They
like
do
with
it
that.
right. They do it right. They do right by their employees. They don't release games that are unfinished. They don't have a crazy crunch schedule. There's no meetings past 5 o'clock or whatever. Like everybody, like it's a great place to work, right? But their hardware is not great.
I mean, I know they wanted to try and like get ahead of mobile gaming, which was what the Switch was. Basically, just like
You ain't getting ahead of them all.
well, you know what I mean. Like before, when the Switch came out 7 years ago, like people
Dude,
weren't
why
playing.
would I get a Switch when I have Netflix games? You know?
There we.
Why get anything?
I'm done talking. Like that perfectly.
Why get anything when I could just go to the Google Play Store from my Netflix app, you know? Silly.
crazy?
So last thing they dropped, obviously, Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. I guess we should start calling it that as opposed to Breath of the Wild 2.
I'm fine with Breath of the Wild too.
It drops May 12th, which I believe is they moved that up 10 days because it was May 26th before, I think. And it's notable because the price is I looked up the price of the 2017 release and it was $49.99. They have shifted the price now to $70 to pick up this game brand new.
I get the 49 to would have been 59 because every game now is $60. That's just what it is. $70 for digital only games too.
It also doesn't have the budget to justify that. The budget from the first game to the second game did not change at all.
No, and they made quite a bit of profit on the first game.
They're using the same map and the same assets too. So explain to me why we're paying a $20 premium on this one.
Again,
because
like
they can.
$10 premium, fine. $20 premium.
Am I going to buy it? Yes.
Yeah, of course. That's outrageous though. Forsaken was also $70, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like this is the and then Hogwarts Deluxe was $70, which basically was just play it a couple days early for another $10. Realistically.
Yeah. Which honestly I appreciate that. It's like, listen, if you want to pay $10 extra and get the game 3 days early before like day one patches and we can get your feedback and see where we have to make improvements. I appreciated that because by Friday when they rolled that patch out, my shit was beautiful. All right, like
I thought that was a great idea. I was like, that whoever came up with that was like, do you know how much money you made the company?
Yeah, exactly.
There's a lot of people who are like, fuck it,
you're
give me
setting records before launch. Like that fucking guy needs a promotion.
Oh yeah,
or lady, whatever. Who cares? But I think the fan base is a bit outraged about this price point, and it's because of the budget. It's the same thing with Game Freak and the Pokemon games, how they moved from mobile to console, and yet the budgets of the games didn't change at all, but the price went up.
Also, those games operate like trash.
Yeah, they're not good.
They are horrendous looking. like even compared to like other games that will run on the Switch. Like people often compare like Bayonetta's on the Switch, right? Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Bayonetta and like the Xenoblade Chronicles, which are all like have beautiful landscapes and everything, and then Pokemon looks like it was fucking made like an RPG maker, like or Unity. Like it's rough.
Yeah, no. And the problem I had with Pokemon was that it released and it got all these glowing reviews, and then you picked up the retail version and it's just fucking broken, and everyone's like, I love it, but I can't play it. It's like, it's not a good game then. It's not a good game.
Someone like ripped it and then put it on at like 60 FPS on their computer, and then every single person was like, I need this so badly.
Exactly.
Like, this game, it's unplayable.
And that's the other thing too, is that I think that everybody, and it's Sony starting to adapt it. And listen, where Xbox goes now, Sony follows. And where Sony and Xbox go, Nintendo's like, we're going to stay over here. But I'm really hoping that they follow with this one, because Xbox created a PC launcher, and now they own two quarters of the gaming division. They have PC and they have console. Then there's Sony, which just has console, and Nintendo that just has console.
And Sony's working on it.
And Sony... Listen, we've heard for months at this point they're working on their own PC launcher, like their own type of. I mean, they already have their own type of Game Pass competitor. Mm-hmm. And it what's it called? This would mean that like between your PS5 or your PS4 and your PC, you can have what is it called? Cloud saves and
whatever,
like play anywhere. So I played like Plague Tale there, and then I booted up on my PC. And it's not the Xbox version running on an emulator. It's the PC version with my save data.
Right.
So they're working on that technology on Sony right now. And I can't see how Nintendo survives going forward, not appealing to that adult crowd, because the PC gaming market just gets bigger. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. I just hope they announce some new hardware, something that I actually want to buy.
ASAP.
Yeah, because I think Zelda Tears of the Kingdom coming out on this Switch is kind of a fucking...
It's wild.
It's a
they could have released, like, if they pushed this to Christmas.
Yeah.
And they had a new system coming out with it, I would have bought it.
Absolutely.
Like,
every Switch that came out the first week was like, yeah, it's a Zelda machine right now. I use it strictly for Breath of the Wild. And now, I mean, like, look at that whole catalog I got. So...
Right there.
There it is. All right, so you guys ready to move on to the meat and potatoes of today?
Oh yeah, brother.
Okay.
What a big inhale.
I was trying to figure out what I was gonna do. I just went with Randy Savage.
Macho Man, baby.
So, we played Hogwarts Legacy this week, as we mentioned before. And we're here to talk about it and tell you what we think about it. So I'm obviously gameplay spoilers. I have to talk about the gameplay. It just has to.
You're a wizard.
You're a wizard. And minor story spoilers. I don't think you guys have finished the campaign yet, right?
Did you finish the campaign?
I finished it last night at 3 a.m. Yeah.
I'm on another level.
I am actually. I just got my broom.
Oh yeah, you got a long way to go. Well,
I've had my broom for a little bit, but I'm now able to fly it like outside of flying lessons.
Oh, was that locked by?
Yeah. Once you get your, well, I mean, you probably went a different way.
We may have done it in a different order.
So first things first, that's what I appreciate about this game, is that everybody's having different experiences, yet we're all having the same amount of enjoyment.
Outside of playing different houses. Even if we all played in the same house.
By the way, let's rank the houses. Number 1, Ravenclaw, the hardest house in all of Hogwarts history. What? Okay,
shortest game.
Then it goes Gryffindor.
Wait.
Just let him do it, and we'll tear it apart. Just let him do it, and we'll tear it apart.
Then it goes Gryffindor. Okay, then it goes Slytherin. Then Hufflepuff. Okay,
Nick's
I'm sorry
if
anyone is like, I want to be a Hufflepuff. Just get at it. Like,
there goes our engineer.
So I am certain that they put that Azkaban mission in Hufflepuff to make sure people pick it.
I mean, not even to make sure, but the few people who do go and pick it,
they're like,
you're a real one.
We give you a little nod here. You get to look at people in prison.
Speaking of which, I did capture some footage. It's one of my clips. I have some footage from Azkaban.
I do have that. Well, so the difference in the side missions is like 3 to 4. It's not like a big giant campaign.
You have different characters too, right? Like your friends
Companions.
your companion besides like Sebastian. Like
Sebastian.
Sebastian.
Yeah, like I have the Hogwarts girl. She's this girl who came
The
from
Hogwarts girl.
the Gryffindor girl. she's a girl who came from like the African version of.
Oh, I got her too.
Oh, you
yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
she's in your house.
She's in Gryffindor too. You
just interact with people from different houses.
But like the people who are in my house, like that one kid with the glasses and the hair pulled back, like I only ever see him in the Ravenclaw house. You know what I mean?
Do you guys have that guy Arthur? He talks like this. He's like,
he keeps getting bullied by Peeves.
Yeah.
I tried to get gameplay capture of that because his voice came up and it was I lost my shit.
It is so funny.
That's the demiguise mission, right? Where you got to go around and collect the demiguise moons.
No, I haven't got there yet. No, he's just like walking around the castle or whatever, and
you
like
have classes with him and shit.
Yeah,
but okay. Maybe I didn't get that.
There was one dude where he was getting like actually bullied by Peeves, and he was like smacking books out of his hand, and his voice was literally like, "No, stop! Don't do that, Peeves!"
Oh God, it farted and went down my throat.
Yeah, it literally sounds like that, dude.
Dude, talking about the dialogue though, I'm surprised how much I hear people are like, I can't believe they're letting mudbloods in. Like, they should do something. It's like, whoa.
Well, it's the 1890s, bro. Sensibilities were different back then. So let's talk strictly gameplay. So right off the bat, movement, exploration around the world. They could not have gotten any better, I don't think. I have explored the whole map, like everything all the way from the southernmost tip all the way to the mountains in the... I've also gotten to winter, so everything's covered in snow now too.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, the seasons change as the like I don't know if you guys got to like October where all the pumpkins are up and everything, and like there's jack-o'-lanterns everywhere.
No.
Yeah, there's like first it's like snow, and then I ran through the like common room, and there's Christmas trees everywhere and stuff.
Oh, that's
now.
cool.
Yeah, so people like Happy Christmas and shit like that.
Happy Christmas, Harry.
Yeah. But exploration in the world and moving about the world, I think is excellent, especially like with the cloth physics on all the shit that you
Oh my
wear.
God, it's so janky.
It's
so fucked up.
Yeah, actually, I'll save it for the glitch video, but I can't, like, why does everybody's cloak turn into a dress after a cutscene and then it clips back through their legs?
That happens a lot, and then I don't know if it's just my computer and like the settings I'm running it on, but anybody's hair that like, I think it was
if there's a little bit of wind.
Professor Garlic, she's the herbology teacher or whatever. She's got like the red braids. She was sitting there. And
the one who definitely wants to fuck all other students.
Yes.
But her hair is just sitting there shaking because because it's a different texture and it's sitting on her shoulders and it's interacting with the hitbox and it's just moving. Like, I'm like, what is happening?
Well, truthfully, the greenhouse has been a performance issue for everybody.
Really?
Like, I go in there and it's just a slideshow to where I gotta get to. But anyway, gameplay. So combat though, I feel is like the real meat and potatoes of gameplay, especially once you're a couple hours in. It's fun, but it can get messy. It can get messy real fast, especially when you're trying to switch through spells on the fly. I had to look up what's the best placement of spells so I could, utilize.
It's a skill issue, Pat.
Yeah, it is. It is a skill issue.
So many, like every time I'm trying to do deflect a spell, like it always turns into fucking Lumos, and I'm like, no, fuck, I'm not holding.
Yeah,
I forgot that you could deflect spells.
You're just dodging the whole time.
I play most games like
like Dark Souls,
like Dark Souls, where I'm like, look, I'm not gonna parry, I'm not gonna block, I'm gonna roll, and then I'm just gonna beat the shit out of you before you kill me. Like that is straight up how I play the game.
For a while, I was just dodging and rolling, and then you start getting your talents, and I'm like, oh, I can get like stupefy reflections off of deflections, and it's just
that made
no
it
sense.
So much easier.
I do love that this is another WB game that they couldn't help themselves but borrow stuff from the Batman Arkham combat.
Yeah,
because the counter, like the thing going over your head to know that a spell is coming that you can block or dodge, straight up from Batman Arkham, and hit the same button Y to counter. To block, and then if you hold it, you immediately hit stupefy. The only problem with that is it doesn't reflect back to the person that it came from. It goes to whoever you're aiming at.
I like that because it's kind of like, it's like, you want to hit me, I'll fuck Pat right here.
Yeah, I'm deflecting your energy towards your ally.
But you get what the upgrades, the talents. Then
here's the thing though. By the end game though, when there's like fucking 30 dark wizards and it's just you on your own at this point, Like, I'm talking, I sat there at one point just hitting right bumper, just throwing shit at motherfuckers and blocking because I couldn't move about the battlefield and accurately target someone or target, like, there'd be someone right in front of me and it's targeting someone to the right of me.
That is the biggest problem I had with the combat.
That right there does not go unanswered.
No, go ahead.
No, after you.
I was going to say, my biggest issue with the combat is when you're fighting multiple people, it's all over the place. Like, I want something in between, right? There's nothing. It's just everybody coming at you and you have to deal with it. I want like a little bit of the Assassin's Creed kind of like slight turn-based where you can kind of get hit from a different angle if it comes through, but it's like, I'm also playing on hard because I like hard games.
Yeah.
And like there are things where it's like I don't have time.
Not a skill issue for you.
Not a skill issue. No. That's why I'm level 20. But there are things where it will be like, because people have different kinds of shields and they have different spells that you have to use to break the shields.
Which is so fucking annoying.
Which is cool. Like,
I mean, it's a good mechanic.
It's a good mechanic,
annoying.
but it's annoying.
It is very annoying because
if you don't know who you're fucking locked on to.
If you don't know who you're locked on to, it constantly switches between people. And it's like, I'm trying to attack Nick, who I have to get in close and use a fire spell to break you. But I can't get in close because this other person's right here, and then I'm locked on, and then I use a wrong thing, and then there's a damn, like, way too long of a cooldown on those spells.
You can't even stupefy them either.
You can fix that with your talents.
Yeah, but, like, it's still a significant, like, if I fuck up, if you're right in front of me, and then I try to, like, you know, burn you...
It doesn't do anything to him.
Doesn't do anything to him. And then, like, I have to turn to him and try to do something, then it targets you, and I'm just like, I'm just dying.
You want to know what breaks all shields? Rocks and explosive barrels.
Right bumper.
Yeah,
Ancient
right
magic.
bumper.
Another thing similar to the targeting issue is this was, like, not as pressing, but it's just annoying, is when you're in the map and there's a bunch of different waypoints right next to each other, it's just like struggling to fucking lock on to something. And it's like, whoa.
Well, when I go to the map and I go over to a point where there's lots of, it'll actually spread them out for me and then I can pick which one I want.
It does, but you can only randomly like tilt the map so much.
I can't even tilt the map.
You can literally go, like
that's the thing is like for me,
the zoom in, Pat, literally is like,
Yeah, you're right, actually. Now that you say it, the zoom in is like that. It's not
right
a tilt.
stick, I really want left stick to be move and right stick to be rotate, but it doesn't.
I just want it to hotkey them. Like, I don't need to go around and search the entire map here and then click this.
There's
just like,
no marker either. There's no like key for the map for you to just search like, okay, I just want to see the Merlin stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That is huge. The fact that you can't even like, it'd be nice if you could search them alphabetically or something.
Yeah. I will say, I eventually I do love the story and the world and everything, and like the combat. Like we've mentioned our gripes with it. But I mean, dueling one-on-one wizards isn't a problem, and even fighting some of the bigger beasts in the game isn't a big issue. But I did find myself playing this game like a Far Cry game at one point, where it's like, all right, I got some time to kill before the next main quest comes up. So I'm just going to go from icon to icon and like Merlin quest, Merlin trial, Merlin quest. Here's 3 dark wizards in a row, Merlin trial. I'll pick up this thing. You know what I mean? So, or like I'll unlock this fast travel point and then I'll get a fucking like owl or whatever.
So it doesn't feel organic, like you're discovering them along the way. It feels like you're just kind of crossing stuff off a list.
Yeah, but Far Cry they got smart in the 5th game and they took all the icons off the map, so you have to explore and then the icons show up. Whereas this game,
you can see the entire map.
Everything was already there, which is fine. You know, this isn't for the Far Cry crowd; it's for the Harry Potter crowd.
Yeah.
I just kind of felt like that was like a little, I guess, like not limiting, but like hand-holdy.
It just, like I said, it removes the sense of this whole game is just wonder, magic and wonder, and those icons being there just slightly takes away from it just a bit.
The problem I have, the other thing with it is kind of like the anachronism almost in certain things in the way of like out of sequence. I do wish there was a little bit more on the world as preventing, like the locks are a thing in the castle that kind of prevent you from doing things, but like I went and I found the Dark Wizard dueling arena in the forest before like anything like that, and like you could just go and do that. And I was like, that's a little weird that like
As soon as I saw, I did that this morning. I played a little bit before we got here, and I got there, and it was the one where you had to like smash the
little vases,
and then it's like, oh, enter the dueling arena. You can use like
all the killing
curses, and I just got on my broom and flew away. I was like, fuck that.
Well, that's the thing. It's like I think certain things need to be introduced at certain points in the story. And I don't think this game does that at all.
I have
like you can virtually go anywhere and almost do anything.
It's the Breath of the Wild.
I have
mentality.
I have 2 of the 3 unforgivable curses, and I finished the main campaign. You can't get the third one unless you finish the game, and you have another side quest with Sebastian afterwards.
And you
that
kill
little
him
fucker.
Because because like
because he's the
I don't
like,
know if it's obvious to you guys who he's related to, but as soon as I saw him, I was like, oh, we're doing this.
Yeah, I was like,
we're
okay,
doing this.
I was like,
Okay.
he's Slytherin, and he's the guy that teaches you all the like bad spells.
Oh.
He's canonically related to Tom Riddle. They
no,
say
he's
that.
not. His friend is.
No, I literally watched a video on it this morning. He is related to Tom Riddle. He's a ancestor of Tom Riddle.
I mean, maybe he is, but I just did it. There's a mission. This is going to be a little bit of a spoiler.
It's fine.
Sebastian brings you to that secret room. Like, you know, he's got the little secret hiding spot, and he's like, "Oh, my friend,
The Undercroft, right?
the Undercroft, and
Yeah.
my friend Ominous Gaunt showed me this place.
Ominous Gaunt.
Ominous Gaunt is his name."
Bro,
But
let me
hold on.
Go ahead.
Before you get your comment,
Yes.
the Gaunts in the book are the riddle.
Maybe
The Gaunts.
Oh, maybe I'm fucking wrong then.
I think you may have, because
I might have mixed
they're
that up.
friends.
or maybe he bangs a Gaunt sister,
Maybe.
That's
and then
possible.
he's like
But
his
yeah,
grandpa.
So this riddle.
So the Gaunt family leads to the Riddle lineage.
Got it. Okay. So about
Good thing I
Ominous.
just read those books.
Good job, Nick.
So ominous, right? The
I don't know
whole
if I should
time
trust him or not.
I played this game, I was like, you know what? I'm glad they put all these diverse characters in here, especially someone who's clearly like, he's clearly autistic. He can't make eye contact with you. I'm glad they did.
Oh my god.
I was so fucking blown away when I figured out he's not autistic. He's blind. That's why he doesn't look at you, and
my
that's why
God,
his
Pat.
eyes are just like
Glazed over.
glazed over the entire time.
The first wait,
was like,
when did
Jesus,
you
I'm so
when did you
fucking
meet
stupid.
him? When did you meet him? Because the
Holy
first
shit.
time I interacted with him was, oh yeah, he's blind. They literally mentioned it.
Pat's just why? I'm not listening to any of the story.
Actually, I did. I watched every cutscene, and this game has the same problem every other RPG does.
Ooh, I'm ready to hear it. All right.
The main quest is extremely cinematic,
Yes.
right? Because that's the story they want to tell you. Every other side quest is these fucking pasty ass, horrible facial animation, like
Yeah.
basically 2-cut camera like, and the dialogue trees. The dialogue trees don't matter.
No.
They don't matter
Well, they
because
just give you a little extra backstory.
But no. But that's the thing is that like you can ask questions to like get some context if you want. But I mean like literally when you can choose dark or light, like what's
Yeah.
your answer, right?
When you're like, I did this for you, I'm keeping this pay me.
Yeah.
It
Like,
will give you whatever answer is supposed to come after that, and then just go straight to the next
Back to
cutscene.
the main.
So
that's
it's-
what I was
yeah.
little. I was like, some people I'm an asshole to. I was like, if I drove in the bottom of the lake, you're giving me money to get your little fucking like, Astro Globe thingy.
Yeah.
Astrolabe.
Whatever.
If they're nice to me, I'm nice back.
Yeah.
But if they give me an attitude, I'm like, fuck off.
Yeah, so now that we're talking about this, what do we think of the characters? I think some of the characters are hit and miss. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, they're
they're NPCs. Yeah.
I want it before we jump too far into this. Back to the dialogue part. I thought it was so fucking ridiculous. Every person you meet is just like, you're the new student who I've heard so much about. I'm really impressed with the way that you took down those trolls. You're gonna do great things here at Hogwarts. It's like not everybody should say that.
yeah. It's like I've heard a lot about you. It's like you're a fucking fifth year.
Like I said, it reminds me of that scene from Beer Fest, where
Yes.
whatever his name
Yes.
like brother does.
Just comes back in.
He's
Yeah.
like, and he told me
I'm
all your
Landfill's
inside
brother.
jokes and memories, and you could just call me his name too. It's not like that's what it is, you know.
Yep.
And like I get why they do it, so like everybody has the context of the characters, so they can continue to build the story and build the characters as you go. But also at the same time, you're right. It is just weird how everyone's just like, that's the new Rockstar fifth year,
Yep.
It's like, yeah, okay,
So,
great. Like I don't know. And then all the time is like, you're like, who the fuck are you? Like, that's how you introduce, like, every single person you meet. You're just like, all right, do you need something?
Sick. Can I go?
Yeah.
So I haven't done any of the random student, like the people who are like, I hope there was a new student.
My
that could help
balloon.
you. Yeah, like,
Dude, I love
Spider-Man.
My balloon.
I'm like, I did a few of those in the beginning when I was just start kind of getting the feel of the game. But now that I have like, shit that I'm dealing with, there's this one kid who's like, oh, I could really use your help. And I just keep running by him. I'm like, maybe later.
Yeah.
I did that with the Nearly Headless Nick mission.
Oh, fuck.
I haven't done that yet.
Anytime you walk by him, how have you not done that?
Because like I beeline the main campaign. And
I
then
thought
did
that was a
side
main
quests.
campaign.
I haven't even
It's
run into
it's
him
a
yet.
yellow one for me. But
Are you Gryffindor?
yeah.
Oh, that might be why.
Yeah,
might be why.
but like I run past him. He's like, sir? I and I'm just like sprinting past him. I'm like, I'm gonna find these fucking
Where's
keys.
John,
I'm gonna get all these
please?
house tokens.
I like your run animation.
just. I do like that you can run. That's
Yeah.
a good thing. I hate that when you go into a classroom
yeah.
or
Oh,
a
yeah.
shop,
Or you crouch.
you just start to walk. It's just like whenever I
There's
have to
an
go and buy a
upgrade for that.
fucking
You're thinking of when you
Invisible.
When you're invisible. I mean, if you like crouch under something, you're just like this. It's so slow.
when you get
that's a loading
when you
screen.
get the dash upgrade from rolling.
Oh,
I just
yeah.
roll through
Just
everything. Yeah.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like I'll walk in and I'll be like trying to buy a potion or sell the 15 different things of clothes that are completely useless at this point.
Yeah. So actually, before we talk about the gear system, let's move on to the world real quick. Once again, I think the world that they built is another like
the world is the star of the show.
If I were to
100%.
give gameplay, I'd give gameplay like an 8 out of 10. It's solid, but they can fix it because there's gonna be a sequel. 100%. There's no way there's not gonna be a sequel. And this
Just
also
DLC the hell out of it. Like
and then the what's it called? And then so the world. You're right, Nick. The world is the star of the show. I am absolutely enamored with the world. Hogsmeade, which I was wrong. I thought they would put Diagon Alley in. They didn't. However, Hogsmeade
You'd have to
go to-
travel all the way back to London.
you just
have
take
you
a
guys-
fucking
speaking
port
of
key,
which,
go and touch a thing
have
and
you
you're
guys
back.
have you guys seen have you guys seen the Hogwarts Express rolling down the mountain ever? I've seen it a couple
No,
times.
I haven't,
Yeah. So Hogsmeade looks great. Hogsfield looks amazing. The Keenbridge area, like it all looks great. And I feel like they really captured like the Scottish countryside perfectly.
The moment I was like, wow, this is like reminding me of like watching the original Harry Potter movies as like a kid was when you were doing the flying around the castle.
Yes.
When you first get your broom and that other dude's like, let's do a quick tour. And like you're just zipping around through shit and like going up and over the building. I was like, this is awesome.
yeah.
See, for me, I had a similar experience. It wasn't in that moment. That was cool, but I was too focused on the mechanics of flying and being bad at it. But the moment that I first kicked off with my broom solo and got to just fly around by myself, I was like giddy, just like, holy shit.
I'm glad they did the like Elden Ring, just tap a button, you have a horse. Like,
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the way to go. you
Now,
know?
yeah.
Well, to be fair, they were doing that in Breath of the Wild in 2017 and every Assassin's Creed game because they ripped off Breath of the Wild. And The Witcher did
what
that
could you do in Breath of
2015.
the Wild with that?
You had a mount in Breath of the Wild.
You had to call it, didn't you?
Yeah, just hit a button.
Oh, I didn't
Same
remember.
thing. Yeah, this is it. They did it in The Witcher, so every RPG
I just
since has done
teleported
it.
everywhere in Breath of the Wild. I didn't wait on that.
I did I use the fast travel sometimes in this game, but I find it way more fun to just fly
It's
over the
satisfying.
landscape.
It
Yeah.
also takes too long to load. Like I don't have a brand new computer.
Opening
don't
up the fucking book like
do you have
every
an
time.
Do you have an SSD?
Yeah, it
Like
is on
that-
an SSD.
it is
It's
on an
still,
SSD?
Yeah, every time it like loads up with the shaders, it takes like 2 or 3 minutes, and also
Interesting.
Like, yeah, it's weird.
That is really weird.
And, like,
well,
the
hold on,
in-bet-
wait.
2-3
the game?
minutes?
The SSD. Do you save the game on the SSD or your HDD?
Yeah, it's on my D drive, so it's on an SSD.
Wow, and it's still taking that long. That's fucking.
It takes a couple
wild,
minutes,
'cause
and
we
it's
have
kind of
the same one.
yeah,
so.
it's kind of chunky when it's like trying to like load.
That's a chunky.
That's a chunky.
What about you? Actually, let's. I mean, like so the world is great. We love it.
I wanna-
The only thing that kills the world is the performance, and that's what we should talk about now because this
But
thing is all over the place.
The world, though, the one game that it makes me think of playing is the same way I felt playing Red Dead Redemption for the first time, where it's like I want to just walk around and see every landscape that this has to offer.
Yeah, and like we haven't even gotten the fucking look at this cave I found, or what, there's secrets all over this world that have yet to be discovered. So let's talk about performance. So
LOL.
yeah, really. So specifically, there is an issue with the 3080s, and there's an issue with Intel.
Shit.
There's an issue with Intel processors. Both things I have.
The Intel makes sense.
Well, the Intel, there's a performance bug where it's not using as much CPU as it should be to render the world, and hence why you're getting texture pop in or NPCs just fade in and out of
I wonder
existence.
if when they fix that, it'll make my loading and shit better then too.
It's possible. It's possible. And then the 3080 specifically, they're having a hard time accessing all the VRAM that's available, especially if you're using RTX. So I ended up turning off ray tracing, and that actually didn't help my performance. My game already automatically went to ultra, and it went to DLSS, like to upscale to 4K, because if I tried to run in 4K native, it was like chug. So I ended up dropping everything down to high, and then when the patch came out with DLSS performance and everything, I finally, I never dipped below probably 60 or 70 frames in any, but before that patch, some areas were like, whew.
Yeah,
Hogsmeade is a fucking trip.
That one loaded okay for me. The issue I had was going into the goblin camps. When two of them noticed me, that game literally went to 5 FPS.
A slideshow.
Yeah, it was dot dot dot. I was
Really?
and there's this one part in the the central part of Hogwarts that has the big, right near where you go into the library that goes down, that big room with the statue and the
There's
center
the
thing?
dragon over top.
Yeah. There's one spot that's up by the pensive, I think, that it's just a little hole in the floor that's maybe in game would be 6 inches by 8 inches, that it's just black, and if I walk over it, it looks like a ray of ultra bright sunlight that just covers your face. It is literally a singular 2D texture of light that you just walk through and whites your character out.
Oh, you know what? I get something similar to that when I went up to, I think it's the tower that the Ravenclaw common room is in. When I get up to the top of the tower, there's this gray textured fog that just kind of takes over the wall texture. It's weird. It looks like a fog, but it's got this matted texture over it.
Weird.
I don't know what that is.
I do
maybe the wall texture of the brick isn't rendering, but the texture pack of it is.
It feels like it. Originally, I was like, "Oh, am I not supposed to, because I'm not a Ravenclaw student? Are they disguising it?" But I experienced it also in another tower somewhere else. It was just the height.
It's not because you're not a Ravenclaw; it's because you are a Hufflepuff.
Yes. My vision goes. I have no vision past a certain altitude.
So I do have some performance glitches here. So I put together a little video real quick this morning. It's only about hour. It's only about
an hour and a half.
Minute and 30. So we'll just play through it real quick. So first of all, we got Sebastian's skirt here.
What the fuck? I did not see this.
I didn't have this issue.
Yeah, this is what I was talking. And then I get a white box. Okay, so watch this. So I clear the path, and I guess we're not gonna grab the ledge, and I'll just break my neck and. Okay, so this is weird. So you see my wand, you can see the geometry that the fucking fireflies are supposed to be attached to, and then when you put them on the see it actually goes up there. You can see it there still. I got it here too on another one of these puzzles.
Wait, I'm not sure. Wait.
So look, you see around his wand, you see how there's a globe.
That's the geometry that these are supposed to follow to know.
Okay.
So
Yeah, it's an object that they're following, and you can see it gets placed at the top of that.
Yeah.
Okay, so this was so hilarious. Oh my god, I laughed so fucking hard at this when this happened. So this is a cutscene that happens. It's later on in the game. It doesn't give away any spoilers or anything, but holy shit, watch what happens.
Speak to you. Hello, Professor Black.
Ah, Professor Weasley. How delightful to see you.
Sir?
Guys are beating the shit out of each other.
I wonder if I might
And then watch
speak with you about
when it comes back. Pieces and then oh, okay.
That's hysterical.
So minor spoilers. There's a section of the game later on, at least for a Ravenclaw.
black and white.
But it's in the original illustrations from the books.
That's pretty cool.
And you go through the Deathly Hollow, you get the invisibility cloak, the Elder Wand. Like, it's just a little side mission that you go through. But look how brain dead the AI is.
Find a way past them.
So that guy spotted me.
Yep.
He hasn't alerted anyone yet. I walk right the fuck past this guy.
He looks at you.
Yeah, and then I was like, okay, I guess no one's coming for me, so I'll keep moving. Oh, all right. So this was one of the problems I have is that, like, this is clearly meant to be a cinematic moment between characters, and yet they're just wandering around. Like,
Oh yeah, this has happened.
like,
I kept hearing. It was you. You gave me no choice. I had to follow you. Sebastian, please leave the relic alone.
He's just pacing.
like, and look, Sebastian's just running around. Like, they're clearly not having the moment they're supposed. All right, yeah.
I also did not have collision on most people until Friday. Like I would straight up, and it would it would do what your suit of armor thing did. I would be in a
Mike
cutscene.
is just a ghost.
It would be a cutscene, and someone would just walk into the cutscene and just stand in me, and I would be like, "They need to fix this."
So this next one is like obvious. The explosive barrel works, but I didn't see what was coming next. It's like, okay,
I love
well,
that you have
makes
to
sense.
test it.
Like, that makes sense, but what the fuck's going on over here?
Dude, your performance is way more fucked than mine.
Yeah,
They're also-
well. That's the thing is that they have this is a thing that happens in the PC community is that higher end rigs like they are programming to the lowest common denominator. So as long as you guys can run your games at 1080 60
Yeah.
FPS and it looks great, they don't give a fuck. But when it comes to higher end rigs, they're like, we'll try.
Like we don't know.
So, but that's why they invented DLSS to render in one and upgrade and upscale to another.
I don't know if you want to keep the theme of those explosive barrels. I have a clip in there with one.
Is it? Yeah, I think. Okay, I think this
The
is the
shorter,
one. Yeah.
the shorter.
I
one.
did one of the other glitches I had was I think.
Hold on, just
All right,
real
go ahead,
quick.
play this one.
Oh, actually, real quick, Nick, you kept your mini map on.
Yes.
I turned that off so I can
know,
just
yeah.
adventure. Like, just go ahead, take me wherever. I love this.
Incendio.
You're like, oh, I'm far away.
Fuck those ghosts.
I had an issue with where because I also just decided like to run around, and when I got
Should I pull up your clip right now?
you
or-
can pull that up. It's not with this, but I got like I guess I got spider webbed by one of like the matriarch spiders, and then I just had wispy smoke of web around me until I reloaded the game. But this is a proper glitch. So this is like outside of one of the places, and it's just like one of the treasure things that you dive in.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, okay. Nope, I don't go that way. I have to go this way.
Dude, this is legendary. You didn't post this on the subreddit? You have to, dude.
But those on
And
the
he's
TikTok.
still- he's still swimming,
That's
like-
absolutely legendary.
And
See, those are funny glitches though.
Yeah.
It's not like game breaking glitches.
Well,
you know?
I couldn't. I reloaded it to go back in there because I fast traveled out because I was soft locked. And then I did it, and it did it again, and then I had to like go in there and instantly run to the ground. So
Yeah.
it like was like, oh, okay, you're on the floor, and then I was able to swim. through
Right,
it.
right. So Nick, this is the Azkaban mission. So I'm gonna go
Yeah,
ahead
it's
and
pretty long. You can skip way ahead until
Yeah.
I get into Azkaban.
So where is it located on the map? I see your.
Can we go to Azkaban?
Not if
No,
you're.
it's you get port keyed
Oh.
or no, you get
apparated. Or whatever?
apparated. Yeah.
It's also just for Hufflepuffs. Like I said.
So you can skip way.
Tried to kill a sheep.
Yeah, here we go. So that you talk to this woman, she brings you to Azkaban.
She looks like she knows where Azkaban is.
She's been there before.
What's her name? Woman McIndependence.
Azkaban Anne.
Actually, Anne is one of the characters in Azkaban.
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 So, it's not real. It's pretty much a cinematic. You just get to walk through the hallway with her.
What's the premise? Why do you go?
So the premise. Actually, pause this real quick.
Wait, you see how her hair and shit? Like, go back like 3
Yeah.
seconds, like, and the scarf. When it goes to her
Yeah.
face, this is the issue that I keep having. You see how her
and
like
the
yeah,
scarf,
yeah.
the
just
scarf
kicks
just like
around.
Yeah.
So when you guys there's the book you get from the restricted section of the library, right? Mm-hmm. There's the 2 pages missing.
Yeah.
How do you get those 2 pages?
I had to do
minor spoilers.
I had to do a headless ghost who took me.
You had to do a headless ghost?
I had to fuck a headless ghost. And then he paid me with that on the
What's
nightstand.
that not feel like?
It just feels cold.
And then nearly headless Nick was in the corner just being like, I'm not part of the headless hunt. I had that mission where it was, I think his name was like Jack or Headless Jack or something.
Okay,
Jack Harlow.
Jack Harlow. Jack Harlow?
Well, no, there's a character named Harlow and then Jackdaw, so I just put them together.
Yeah, so Jack Harlow, I had
he
to go
takes you into that cave.
Yeah.
You find his
Okay.
coins.
And then all you talk about is how he didn't loot anything. Was he a thief? Like that's
So it just, the way it plays out for Hufflepuffs, it gives more backstory. This woman, Anne, in Azkaban was put away for Jackdaw's murder. So it turns...
he was very clearly killed in a cave in the Forbidden
But
Forest.
nobody knew that. Nobody knew that.
They can go ask him. He's a ghost.
So no, that's they do talk about that. He just dropped dead and he had no recollection.
Had no recollection of who killed him. Yeah.
So
no, I know that.
And then his ghost disappeared. So
he's like, beware the wind, is what he said.
He didn't. Yeah, for me, it was like, oh, Anne never got the clue that I left her to go and explore this cave. So I went on my own. So Anne was put away for his murder. And the reason we go to Azkaban was so she could give hints as to find the clues that Jackdaw left behind.
Oh, for me, I had to go to Graveyard and talk with Nearly Headless Nick, and then I had to shoot a bunch of pumpkins until I found his head.
I had to shoot a bunch of pumpkins.
Yeah, until I found his head, and then he was like,
in a pumpkin?
Yeah, that's a game. That's the game the ghosts play. It's like hide the head in the pumpkin. And then he was basically like, yeah, I died in this cave, and he's like, I don't know how I died. He's like, I felt a gust of wind, and then you find his body, and it's like two swords.
I do like
right through it.
I do like how they split the difference on the Patronus charm here, where it's like, yeah, let's give her the animal, and then let's just do the thing where where if it's strong enough, it creates an AOE effect. It's like, bunny rabbit first, and then it's like, okay, let's just do AoEs. Like,
I also just love it's like you enter. Are you illicitly entering Azkaban? Is that?
I don't know. Like, they didn't really talk about it. It's like, we got to go see Anne, so we just go to Azkaban. So you follow this character down the hallway, and they like Azkaban prisoners, almost like Silence of the Lambs, are antagonizing you. And there's a couple different cells that are open, and I was like, oh sweet, I'm gonna go look around. Nothing. There's nothing in the open cells, and you just go to the end of the hallway and talk to Anne, and that's it. So there's really no. This is basically a cinematic.
That's annoying.
That's kind of a letdown, but you know.
Yeah, if you kind of scrub forward, you can see
fresh meat.
Yeah.
I do like how.
Great, a crazy lady.
Speaks in riddles. Yeah. And she attacks the woman you show up with.
She kill her?
She injures her, and we apparate away. You'll see it. Here you go.
Oh, she just punches her?
She slashes her neck.
With like poison?
With her dirty, grimy fingers.
Reminds me of the Joker scene from the Batman.
Kind of, yeah. So that's it. That's your...
that lady's dumb.
Yo. I kept recording the rest of the Jackdaw missions thinking you guys wouldn't get that. And I recorded like a half an hour, and I was like, they probably get this part of the mission too.
But yeah, I love the fact that, like I said, we're all having different journeys.
That's cool that it like
cool experience.
approaches the same like ultimately mission
and so,
from like 15 different.
Now, here's the thing: is that there is no new game plus right now, but the way that this is supposedly works, I don't know if it's true. I haven't tried it for myself yet. Is that once you 100% the game, right, and you go and take your OWLs and everything, and you pass and all that shit, right? You can start a new character, but you keep all of your spells and your upgrades from your previous playthrough.
Just gonna Avada Kedavra Sebastian.
Now that was the deal. I haven't gotten Avada Kedavra yet.
Yeah.
However, I did get Crucio and Imperio, and Crucio's okay. It's just they just stand there in pain. It's more like a stunning thing. Imperio is cool.
They just suffer.
Imperio is cool because it actually takes Like it gives you an ally in combat for a bit.
Yeah, it's like a charm.
Whereas Avada Kedavra is like the biggest production pot. Like I'm talking, you cock back and like there's a cinematic and it's one hit kill on any enemy, bosses to like fucking gerbils.
What's the cooldown on that?
Obviously I think it's the longest cooldown spell. But
1 minute.
But you can have upgrades. Like I have an upgrade now that what's the right trigger spell? What's that one called?
It's just like your basic
That's the
attack.
basic.
Yeah.
blast.
So that basic, like I have a perk right now that brings down the cooldowns faster.
Yeah.
Every one of those I cast. So it actually like you actually can be viable in combat.
Yeah, there's a lot of the perk tree is really cool with like a lot of quality of life things where there's a lot of cool ones with like getting the ancient magic is like where you like if you disarm somebody you can get like ancient magic and you get like other shit as opposed to just doing like a 10-hit combo. Which is a weird, I don't know why there's a combo system in this that it counts for. I think that's interesting. I know it's lift people up, hit them away, bring them back.
It incentivizes you to have rather than just being blast, 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 blast.
But it's weird that it's like 50 combo plus. I was like, is this Street Fighter?
Can I ask a question?
No.
For bigger Harry Potter lore, as I recall, it is only the Elder Wand that if you disarm somebody, then its allegiance changes to you, right?
No, that's not true.
Is it all wands?
All wands.
What? That is fucking stupid.
And
you can also every time you disarm somebody, you just get a wand.
You can,
yeah.
and then you can also just cast without wands. Like is like such a like.
Well, the goblins can cast without.
No,
wands.
you can cast without.
Wizards
them
can too.
Yeah.
Really?
Your friend from what's her name? Nadia. What is her name?
Not Nadia. I forget.
But she's talking about, and she's like, yeah, everybody at the African like wizard school doesn't use wands. She's like, we just cast. Cast.
Even in the books, they talk about it's like when you get to a certain level of being like a good wizard, you don't even have to say a spell out loud.
Well,
is that chick,
which is like what they did in Order of the Phoenix when Dumbledore and Voldemort have that fight in the Ministry of Magic.
Yeah,
the reason they don't have to because they're so powerful.
There's also a girl. I don't know if she have it for you, but there's a girl in Hogwarts that's basically Hermione. And she does a bunch of like nameless casting, like is her thing.
Interesting. I haven't met her yet. Okay.
She literally looks like Hermione.
Damn, I blew up somebody's TikTok the other day for saying that when you disarm somebody, the wand changes allegiance. I was like, bitch, it's only the Elder Wand. Get it right.
Yeah, nah, that's why. Yeah.
Whoops, I'm wrong. Sorry.
What's the spell called when you create like an item?
Configure or like conjure.
Yeah, you conjure. All right, so my question is, why did the moonstones, like I get it's a game mechanic, but why did they tie the moonstones to conjuring? That I'm not sure where the logic
because
for that
they
was.
looked at the Harry Potter compendium that they got and they were like, well, we need to tie currency in world to whatever, like to us to make stuff.
I also think all of the conjuring shit is stupid. Like the room of requirement. Like I don't need to like fully customize.
You haven't gotten far enough in yet because
I bought all the spellcast things from that dude in Hogsmeade.
But I'm saying that like when you like want to go make like if you need potions.
No,
right,
I get that.
You make them in there because not only are they cheaper, but you get more of a yield as opposed to just buying
you can grow your own plants.
I know, but
also like I'm breeding thestrals, I'm breeding fucking hippogriff, bird horse things. I'm breeding all of the like I have a whole bestiary in there and shit.
Yeah, my biggest gripe is that when you're brewing potions, and if you press pause or if you press go to like your map and your quest, it pauses the time of potions brewing.
That is annoying.
It's so dumb because I'm like, okay, I have a minute that I have to stand here. Let me at least like look through my quest log or collectibles, and then I go back and I was like, oh, I have 55
Yeah, but when I'm
seconds
brewing
left.
potions, I just pull up my laptop and I'm like, we got 3 minutes. All right.
oh shit.
So yeah, the room requirement was annoying in the beginning, but once you put some stats into it, and once you're able, like once you need that,
I'm
stuff,
fine with the functionality things. I don't need to like change it and decorate it.
For me, like that's one of the things that I like in gaming. So that's for me.
I didn't need a whole mission around it.
Oh, it was annoying when she just stood there and watched you decorate it. It's like you can go now. I'm good.
And then like it would be like all of that should have been like a 2-minute cinematic. It would literally be like out of the cinematic. you'd press a button, and then it would start a new cinematic.
I guess they just want you to like really understand the mechanics because it is like
It's confusing.
It is a little confusing.
My sister and I would have killed Deke with hammers. We can tell you that much.
Dude, I was thinking it's like, wow, they actually pretty much gave us a house elf.
Yeah,
I
they
know.
did. They gave us a slave. Oh, that was the other thing I saw. Somebody said something about how like this game encourages like a stop an uprising of the slave race. I was like, the elves are the slaves, not the goblins. Get it right, bitch. Like, come on.
The goblins are like still second class citizens though.
They're in charge of the finance systems. How
Oh,
are they
all right,
second-class
Pat, just stop right there. You just stop right
saying
there.
in the world of Harry Potter. I'm not even putting those two things together.
I know.
Pat, in Harry Potter, there's literally in the Ministry of Magic, the most powerful governing body in all of magical world. There's a statue of every magical creature. Witches
Yeah.
and wizards are at the top, and literally below them are goblins, elves.
Yeah,
and,
there's
you know.
straight up like a hierarchy.
Now,
There is a hierarchy.
Like a class system of people and races. And
Now, is that a height thing or is this a racism thing?
It
the
is
latter.
racism.
I mean, I know there's a lot of
Dude,
criticism going on about that right now.
It's
like,
acceptable
but it's
to
like,
beat house elves.
But also, like,
Yeah.
but here's the thing: is that like it takes place in the 1890s, so of course those things are going to be reinforced even harder. But it's also like in the wizarding world, that's how it always was. That like there's a hierarchy, and like the whole point is them trying to like not have
this doesn't
that. You know,
justify
like,
it.
I
Just
think
because
that
it
the-
used to be this way,
But
so
I'm-
now
but
it's
what I'm
okay.
saying-
I grew up
No,
in a
I-
different
I-
time.
But what I'm saying is that that's how the world was written because it's meant to be portrayed in
Right,
a certain
yeah.
to
light.
be allegory.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly, and like the whole point of the books is being like it doesn't matter where you're from or like when we come to this place we're all one thing. You know?
Except
Dude,
if you're a house elf.
The funniest part is like the whole original point of the Dobby storyline in the books was look at how bad the Malfoys are for treating Dobby so poorly.
Right.
And then he gets freed at the end, and that's a great thing. And then
and then dies.
to justify that Hogwarts has a whole kitchen staffed by slavery, like they J.K. Rowling comes up with this like actually elves like this, and Dobby's weird for not wanting to work for free.
They prefer it this way.
I know, yeah, that's the funniest fucking thing because it's like not you don't walk down in the kitchen. Did you go in the kitchen?
Not yet, no.
So
I'm
there's
surprised.
a kitchen for me
Now, if
that I
Dobby,
did, but like no, it's full of elves and they're in like tattered pillowcase, dirty clothes.
now
Because obviously they can't wear clothes and they're free.
you-
But I was just like, they don't want to be there then if you didn't give
if-
them like a chef hat.
if Dobby,
You can't. They'd be free.
I know, like, and it is the
But
problem.
then, Mike, they do not want to be freed.
Yeah, but like, it's oh fuck, I got a chef's hat. I gotta go
Here-
out into the world.
Here's my deal, though, you guys. If Dobby had the same arc as, say, somebody like Killmonger, I'd respect him. You know what I mean?
Honestly,
Yeah.
Where
okay.
he, you know,
give the elves guns.
Did you see one of the suits of armor upstairs, like in the trophy room? It's elf armor, and it like the like collectible card you get. It's like, oh, this armor was made for this guy. He had it specifically made for his elf who he wanted to bring into battle, but he didn't realize that as soon as he gave him the armor, that it freed him, and he disapparated away out of the armor and
Yeah.
was
Oh,
never
that's
seen
so
again.
fucking
It's like,
funny.
that was fun.
okay.
Clearly, he wanted to be there though. He wanted to help.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so
Wild.
let's actually, Nick, now that you've brought that up, I think it's important that we lightly talk about the story that's going on here. We don't have to give away anything. I know you guys haven't finished it yet. However, it doesn't matter if you finished it because it seems that just anyone will post spoilers on Twitter to, you know, just fuck everybody over if they want. So I knew two things about how the game ended.
how you're gonna ruin it for us.
Yeah,
do
I'm not
not-
going to ruin that ending for you because when I saw it play out and I was invested in the campaign, I was like, oh shit, okay, this is a big moment. And the final boss fight is fucking wild.
You get to fight J.K. Rowling.
Apparently there's a painting of her burning alive on a fucking stake.
What?
Yeah, hold on, I'll
No
find it. Yes, there is.
Fucking way. All right, while you're pulling that up, there was two random things that I want to bring up. You know those chests around with the eyeball?
Oh,
I love those because they yield so much money.
You violate
the
them.
whimper that they make. Oh my God, they're being
yeah.
violated.
I the first time I opened it and it went like woo, 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 like with its things, I was like, I just like molested that chest.
And then after it's like, oh.
yeah, I was like, God damn it! Like I I took it.
Yeah,
took
you took something from it, and it's not pure anymore.
It's not pure.
Okay, I found a thumbnail from a video that gives us it, but obviously they photoshopped her face on that like to be like for the video, but that is straight up supposedly a painting of J.K. Rowling burning alive in one of the rooms in Hogwarts.
Somehow I find that hard to believe.
I saw it on TikTok and Twitter, so you can take those all with
so it's
absolute
real.
certainty.
It's got to be true.
But I mean, either way, what's it called?
Talking about storyline.
Yes, storyline. So I think the campaign is compelling up into a point, but I think they stretch it out far too long. There's a couple missions where I've been like, all right, let's wrap this up. And specifically the second or third, and like even some of the last mission was just like, you just drained my health all the way to the fucking boss battle. And then it got to the point where I'm screaming on Discord at 2 a.m. with Joe Landry, like, fuck these goblins. Like, because the difficulty just ramped the fuck up. So I was finally able to beat him by like 3 a.m., I guess. And, overall, like the way the game, like the main quest closes and how you can still like attend classes and everything, and prepare for your finals and shit. That's just an excuse for you to continue to play in the open world and everything.
Yeah.
I found that to be what's it called? I found that to be like obviously very like the story was cool, but I don't feel like our character learned anything. You know what I mean? Like there was no arc for him. There was no change in his.
He was always great at everything.
He's all just taking it right on the chin, no problem. Like he's always like, and depending on. It's your choice.
How much of an asshole you want to be.
Exactly, but it has no bearing on how the actual game plays out.
I thought I would, like, people would get mad at me if I was just like, nah, fuck you. Like, if you're like, I'm the tits, like, this wasn't hard for me. Like, you're probably bad at this. So.
Yeah.
There was one interaction I had with the potions professor, and he was like, oh, did you work really hard on this thing? And rather than saying like, yes, I did, I was like, well, I mean, like I did.
Pretty natural.
I did what I had to do, like I did, and he's like, you should do more than the bare minimum going forward. Anyway, great job.
Yeah. There was one when I unlocked the storage closet and let.
When you get him get the feather.
When he gets the feather and he asked me if I did something and I just straight up lied to him and he just goes, it's best to tell the truth, and then he just goes, other than that, excellent today.
Yeah, for me, I told the truth, and he's like, well, I like a man that, owns up to his shit. Anyway,
here's the thing I was going to say anyway.
Yeah.
Do you think it was weird? I mean, like a weird decision to make the potions master look and
like
act
Snape?
like Snape, but not?
Kinda. Like, they just,
They're all right. How about like long, greasy black hair and a deep voice who's like, and he's always condescending,
discerning.
Yeah.
Hello, this is Alan Rickman. Please leave your message at the tone. Boop. Remember to tell that joke at the party.
I always think the best part about our podcast is when we quote Family Guy. Yeah. That's always the best.
We're
part.
a Family Guy podcast.
I think like it was one of those things where it's like let's get this cast as like close to the people that the fan base would know, but like still not be them. You know what I mean?
It's because
there ain't nobody around that you actually know, but it's like Ron's fucking like great grandma is teaching there.
I like that they pepper in people that are in the family lineage of people that you know.
Yeah, that was cool.
But like. All the other teachers are clearly not the teachers. I mean, like the herbology professor, clearly a different character. Yeah. Everybody else, and then for potions, they're like, it's just a Snape knockoff.
Maybe it's an homage. Maybe it's not. Maybe they're just like.
Have you guys gone to the headmaster's office yet?
Not yet.
If I was the headmaster of Hogwarts, I'd be like, you guys got to get rid of all these fucking stairs.
Dude, also, I was so happy when it turned out to be fucking Phineas Nigellus. I was like, yes!
For what?
The headmaster is Phineas Nigellus Black. He's an ancestor of Sirius Black.
Yes.
And he's also a character in a painting in Dumbledore's office in the book series.
Interesting.
He plays a big role in Deathly Hallows.
Oh, cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
See, I don't read the books, so I don't read. Can't read. So, So speaking of not being able to read.
Oh, dude, one other random character. In my version of the Azkaban mission, I had to go talk to a painting that was a diggery.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it was one of Cedric's ancestors.
So, obviously this game is marred in controversy right now. Fair enough, because J.K. Rowling is a fucking asshole.
She's a turd burglar.
That's the best way to say it. He's a fucking asshole. Okay. What I don't like though is the insincerity of people who don't agree with her, which is this Wired review right now. Obviously, is going viral. Right? They're saying the game is mid at best, and its real world harms are impossible to ignore.
But so it's just like trying to get people to engage.
Yes, trying to get people to engage. But oh, dude, did they take it out? They took out the fucking roundup. Oh, these motherfuckers.
Were there good reviews?
No, dude. They took out the... Oh, here it is. Okay, they moved it up. All right, so they gave it a 1 out of 10.
LOL.
It helped me say goodbye to the setting for good. The story is rooted in anti-Semitic tropes, and the gameplay feels dated. The graphics feel like they're a couple generations behind. All the characters are one-dimensional. It doesn't stay true to the established lore. Every character feels like an off-brand version of the characters we know and love, which is actually kind of true.
That's what
and
we
there's
just said.
no sense of place, no magic, no heart. Now listen, that is this game, even if at its worst, is like a 7 out of 10, like overall.
Yeah.
Not a 1 out of 10 is a game.
I'd give you a 6.
Like that can't get it together.
That doesn't run.
Yeah, exactly. But here's the other thing too. This is why people should not just run with the headline, okay? Because if you click on... Now, nothing against this... Like, I have nothing against this person at all. But I'm just saying, what's the legitimacy of this game journalism when they're fucking reviewing vibrators and coffee and more sex toys and like
all of the ones
best
that are
camera
like...
gear for your... Like, this is my point. Why would you ever take someone who said this seriously? Because they clearly don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
These are all the first response of hit tweets.
Yes.
That are like, it's like, hey, remember to buy this vibrator.
You should be using more lube. And like, it's like, okay, who you using lube with? Like, that's what I want to know.
They do say, if you scroll over, they like, sex tech is part of their...
That's
whatever
totally
they
fine.
talk about,
that is
But
100% fine.
Is there a single
We're
other
sex
game?
positive.
Is there a single other game review on here?
I mean, but there's like, here's the top 10 next gen Xbox games that you should play.
You
but that's
can
from December
play.
2022. You know what I mean?
Keep going down. But like predominantly, it's not about like mechanical keyboards. Isn't like
controllers. Want a better PC.
This is tech news.
Yeah,
those are all tech news, and those are all affiliate link.
Yeah,
posts.
and the other
Like,
thing here
that's
is
it.
like, listen, I don't know if you guys have seen the Wired video where they tried to build a PC, but they lost all credibility after they put that video out, as far as I was concerned. And this just makes it even more, at least drives the point home even more for me. Because like, this is also under the fucking culture section, which it should not be. Like,
it's clearly just trying to.
Yeah,
like,
that's exactly my point. And like, here's the other thing too, is that like, what is it? Legacy Killer Legacy Gaming. He did a review. A couple like, for instance, there's a writer, I believe he's at the Washington Post. His name's Paul Tassi, who he does nothing but write about video games and the video game industry for Washington Post, right? Clearly, this is someone who has knowledge of credibility. So like, when he gave his review and he said, I'm only giving this game an 8.5 out of 10 or like whatever out of 10 because this is how I feel about it after playing it for 20 hours or so. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's something I can respect. This though is clearly nothing but a bunch of fucking noise that somebody was upset and put this together.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like I said,
Did they play it?
I don't even know. How could they?
I would assume if they're giving it a 1 out of 10, and for like, it being marred in controversy, that they did not buy it to not contribute to it, and then can't review it because you didn't play it.
And then it came to, and then remember, it was any review that gave it a positive score overall, but mentioned anything negative, they said was a paid review.
Yeah.
Because they said negative things about it. How could it be a 9 out of 10? Because not all games are perfect.
Well, I think all of us, like, we spoke mostly about the negative aspects of the game here, but I think we all overwhelmingly enjoy it.
Oh yeah, and like that was,
absolutely.
and that's the best way to describe it. I was overwhelmed when I first started the game because I was like, I'm in fucking Hogwarts. I'm in fucking Hogsmeade.
Well,
you know what I mean?
I know you brought that up for a point, but I do think it was one thing we neglected to mention is the amount of detail in the castle.
Yes.
And how different it is from the movies, but in an incredible way.
Yes.
It like every single room feels like it was done with incredible care and has its own character from the rest of the
I've heard
castle.
it's actually closer to the books than it is closer
there
to
are
the
some
film.
elements that I noticed. It was like, okay, this is clearly, they're taking more inspiration from the books.
Yeah.
And there are other things where it's nice that they take nods from the movie, where it's like you can borrow from that because there are things that the movie did right. But
Right.
So-
it's so much fun to kind of walk around and
look at
discover.
little
So
shit,
now, obviously, you guys know how the review situation went down. They did not give Kotaku or Polygon a fucking review code. They gave everyone who has legitimate credibility in this space, Skill Up, who I believe is the #1 game reviewer on the fucking face of the earth. I will live and die by that man's words, except for Last of Us Part 2.
Fair.
And what's it called? He opted out of not getting a code, and he just said, I just didn't want to review it. I just don't feel like, but like, you know how it is.
Yeah.
He's just going to catch a bunch of shit for it. Cause he has integrity. You know what I mean? He was gonna
he's just
review
like, look, I
this
don't
game
wanna
as
do
it
it.
is. So here's the other thing though. I see a big criticism about how like these outlets that are producing positive reviews, that are producing these discussion boards or walkthroughs are profiting from the SEO of Hogwarts Legacy.
It's a good point.
But so are the people like Wired
Yes.
who are putting out articles that are SEO'd the fuck out for Harry Potter.
That exact article.
So you're just a fucking hypocrite as well.
You're making money, you're making ad money.
from the Harry Potter IP. You are a fucking hypocrite as well. So that's what I'm saying. The whole, and like when you, like I said, we talked about this earlier, when you get off Twitter, it's just not, and we don't got to get into the specifics of it. It's just a tired trope. It's just like, for people who may see that review, it's just keep in context of what's going on here. You know what I mean? I'm not saying only listen to positive reviews, and I'm not saying if you don't like the game, don't give it a bet. If you give it an honest go and you're like, this isn't for me, I didn't like it, I'd give it like a 4 out of 10 because of this, that, and the other thing, right? I might look at you like you have two heads, but I can at least respect your opinion. You know what I
Right.
mean? I can at least tell that you gave it an honest go. But if you come out of this like a 1 out of 10, and like
You didn't give it a- you didn't-
everything you reviewed beforehand was nothing but vibrators because you clearly don't have a partner, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. So but yeah, overall, if I were to score this game, I would give it 8.5 out of 10. I think it's a solid first step in the right direction. I think it sets a template for all Wizarding World games to come forward. Now what I want them to do is what I've been saying I want them to do. I want them to just take the cast of characters that we love from the films and just make like an action adventure, like use the same combat, like extremely cinematic, like get the voice cast, get the cast from the films to voice the characters, like just do like, you didn't see this in the movie and it didn't happen in the books, but this is an adventure that's canonical that only happens in this video game. You know what I mean?
Or there's so
Like,
much in the books that weren't in the movies you can
that's-
just subsidize.
That's what I'm saying. Just something a little bit more cinematic that we can really see the fucking like the wow. Like, don't get me wrong, this had the wow factor, obviously, but you guys know me. My game of the year for 2022 was God of War. That doesn't mean Elden Ring is not an amazing game, but I like story. I like being brought to fucking tears when I watch it. So
That's why we like episode 3 of The Last of Us.
Yeah, which
boy.
actually, real quick, do you guys watch? It came out on Friday.
Yeah, I did.
Sir.
Oh, it's so good.
It's good.
So good. Anyway, so what would you give it?
I'll give it like an 8. Yeah,
like
it's
an
like
8. What about you, Nick?
Probably somewhere around.
All right.
8, yeah.
All right.
yeah,
So we'll
not a perfect game, but one
damn
of the
close.
Damn
Damn
good.
close.
I think
It's very
I
good.
felt more kind of negative about it when I first started playing, but as I picked up abilities along the way and the game really started to chugging along, I was like, okay, I see what they're doing here. This feels good.
That is the same mentality I had when I played Days Gone. Do you remember what I said when it came out? I was like, Days Gone's a great game when you get past the first 5 hours. And then Danny goes, you mean the opening, like the tutorial where they're I was like, oh yeah, I guess
Hello?
they're coming to get us. But yeah, no, I mean, listen, that's you have to be realistic about these things. And as much as I love this game and I'm having a great time, it's not a 10 out of 10.
No.
Because I've seen what 10 out of 10s are, and we have to keep our expectations in check. And I think this is just another great release for 2022. Solid, like if you're a gamer, 2023, my bad. If you're a gamer or if you're a Harry Potter fan and you're like, I want to pick up a console or like to play this, like by all means go. this is the one. If you were looking for something to pick up a console for, I feel like this is the first true one that you should give it a go for. You know?
Yeah.
Like I even see some girls on Instagram that I know aren't gamers posting like, I bought a PS5 just for this game.
Yeah, I mean,
You
it's
know
got
what I
that
mean?
kind
Like,
of factor.
Yeah,
with
and
it.
it set a record for 1.2 million concurrent viewers of a single player game on
Twitch.
Twitch before it even came out, and set sales records.
was
I
wild.
think like the percentage, it's something like, I read like
Talk on mic.
the Blair whatever association, that's whatever her fucking creative team is.
The creative thingy.
That like, she didn't work on this game. Her creative team worked in tandem with the creatives at Avalanche to make sure everything is canonical.
Right.
Everything fits the world. Like, can we use that? You know what I mean? They've already made $5 million just
Damn.
on pre-orders.
Wow.
Not the shit that happened over this weekend. So I'm very curious to see
Where it lands.
And that's just from Steam.
Yeah.
You don't even know. You may never even know what the console numbers are, and that's a bigger market than Steam.
Yeah.
So
We'll see.
But yeah, I love it. I love that.
We love it.
We love it. So yeah,
I got
overall,
some, I got some breaking news here, boys. We're talking about this before the show started, but the U.S. has shot down a fourth flying object over Lake Huron.
Cool.
15 minutes ago.
bro. Like, dude, I'm telling you right now, we are literally in the first stages of an alien invasion.
I
Or
know, you keep
the fact
saying.
they've been here for a while, and now hold on, let me get my tinfoil hat now. And they're fucking what's it called? And now they're just like, hey, you know, fuck these guys, and they're just shooting them out of the sky now. You know?
I keep seeing threads. It's like the aliens show up and they're like, "We're here to take over," and everybody's just like, "Please, they're not doing a good enough job. We welcome that."
Yeah, really. Okay, so yeah, overall, Hogwarts Legacy, it gets the thumbs up from us.
8 out of 10.
Check it out. 8 out of 10. We love it. It's time for Clip of the Week.
Oh yeah, it's the clip of the week. Oh, it's the clip of the week. It's the clip of the week.
All right. Looks like this guy can use a fucking broom.
So this one's for Joe Enright, who said that we
Joe
could-
Lopez.
Joe sorry,
Lopez.
my mistake.
It's all good. It's all good.
Joe Lopez, this one's for you.
Let's do it.
And you go. No break. Look me.
You go no break.
Oh,
Does he hit a monkey?
Don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry.
I just clocked it straight in the face. What did I do about the sloth?
Don't worry. Don't worry. Where did she jump?
He's like, come on.
Cowabunga, bros.
Oh, that's so funny.
Can you guys believe that this is one of the
We just wait?
what is it? The 7 deadly sins or whatever, sloth. That fucking guy right there.
Just chilling.
So wait, he just cracks the sloth.
Crashed
Like,
right
I,
into
I
the
love
thing.
that like this sloth 30 seconds later reacts.
He's
Like,
oh wow, he did fucking clock it, huh?
the first time I watched it, I thought he slowed down or something, but yeah, he just rams right into it.
Clocked it straight in the face.
I just clocked it straight.
What did I do about the sloth?
Ready? Now,
So-
now wait, hold on, play. He reacts now.
Ow, man, what the fuck? Did you?
I'm
Is there
walking.
any follow up?
Dude, that was one of the best comments.
Really?
It was, I'm 17 ellipse walking 17 ellipse here.
So question: what is the
The protocol?
Yeah, well, not even the
You
protocol.
slowly pull him up and
drop him.
What's the follow up here?
Somebody, one of the best comments was like, I'd pick him up and show him the jungle at 60 miles an hour.
He's just like, oh no.
I never moved this fast before. So, like, they didn't get him off the line or nothing.
Yeah,
like,
no.
I don't know. I didn't see any follow up, but I do know that they can move fast and they can hurt you. So
I've seen him in real life.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen him kill a man.
Seen him take a man
one,
down.
I've had one hug me before.
Yeah, killed Pat.
When I did that.
Yeah, he's a ghost.
God damn it, Butters! You told me I was a ghost. When I did the when I did that SeaWorld camp, like a year, like when I was in 7th grade, they had a sloth and you got to hold it and everything.
Yeah,
It's
they
good
got
times.
talons.
I'm trying to. Did I?
I did see a lot of sloth facts in the threads. One of the best facts that I learned was it takes muscle. They have to use their muscles to open their hand. Their resting hand is closed.
Oh, cool.
So when they're asleep, they're resting with their hands closed around a branch.
Oh,
So they never have to like
interesting.
actively mentally hold
Yes,
shit.
exactly.
Cool.
Sick.
Sloth fact.
I didn't know
Sloth
that.
fact. There you go.
Sloths are cool, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, sloth.
And that's what we're leaving you with this week. Sloths are cool, everybody. Yeah, so that's it, huh? I think we got this one in the bag. All right, cool. So thanks so much for listening to episode 101 of Press Any Key. Once again, you can find us on all social media at pressantykey.tv, our website pressantykey.tv, and yeah, we'll see you next week for Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Everybody, get ready. Oh, Jonathan Majors. See you guys. Bye.